After talking to doctors and patients that use ADA, we arrived to the conclusion that the current situation of quantification of ADA in patients in Spain is very ineffective, because the test needs a 2-hour lab work and it takes at least 2 days for the patient to get the results. So, and it's very, very expensive. So we came up with a solution. We brought a device. This device, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to test, so we would reduce the numbers of visits of the patient from 2 to 1. Also, reducing the number of, eliminating the hours of lab work is very cost effective for the health system in Spain. So, in conclusion, this is our product, and it is the first product we have. It's aimed to be used at the doctor's office, because it needs a centrifugation machine. The second device, it's aimed to be used at the patient's house, but because we assume that they won't have a centrifugation machine, it should be added a microfluidic chip that would separate the plasma. So how are we going to sell our product? The idea is that 1% of the European population suffers from RA, but going into the market, into an unknown market in Europe directly, seems a little aggressive for us. So we decided to, the first year, only start selling our product in Catalonia, the region we are from. Catalonia currently has 260 hospitals or clinics where they treat RA. So with this, if we assume that the first year we would sell 40% of these locations our device, this would mean that the first year we would sell approximately 500 devices. This would mean that after the first year of selling the office product, we will have benefits of 20,000 euros, because we would be selling our product at the price of 125 euros. The following year, we would start selling the home device. And this would give us 3 more years to understand the product and understand the market and adapt our product to the patient's needs before launching it in year 5 to the European market. So what makes us different? We are selling a very, very economic product that improves the quality of the quantification of ADA and improves the quality of the treatment for the patients. It's very relevant. It implies a relevant cost reduction for the healthcare system in Spain, and the constant the lower price implies that more tests can be done, so it would imply a constant monitorization of the quantification of ADA, which would result in a better monitorization of the RA. And lastly, we do not start from scratch, because we have the support from local organizations and companies that are in the market that would help us with the launching event. Lastly, I would like to thank you and thank our sponsors and universities.
Okay, very good. Are there any questions from jury members? Over here.
Hello. First of all, congratulate with the practical biosensor, and the readability of your report was very good. It's nice for me as a patient partner. And our first question is: the current prototype will be introduced to hospitals in Catalonia, and how will you make the hospitals aware that your biosensor exists? So what's your strategy there?
Yeah, because in Spain at least, the treatment mostly is controlled through the hospitals that are linked to local organizations like, well, local arthritis organizations. Like in Catalonia, we have Lliga Reumatològica. And so we have contact with the director of this association, which would help us to, get in contact and with the hospitals, and the clinics.
All right. Oh, over here.
So, why would the hospital pay 125 euros per test and not just do it in their clinical lab where it costs maybe 10 euros?
No. It's okay. I wasn't clear, but 125 euros is a device, but you can do as many tests as you want. It's not single use. So if you need to pay a technician 2 hours so the cost of doing the test in the lab is the salary of a technician for 2 hours in the lab.
So the cost saving is actually for the hospital, because that was my point.
Yeah.
So they save cost direct. The hospital saves.
Yes, exactly.
We have other. Because for instance, one of the partners to consider could be medical insurance companies, maybe. But you're targeting directly hospitals, so you need to build up also a sales force to go directly to hospitals.
Exactly.
It is one way to do it. You need quite a sales force to actually go to all of them.
Yeah. But in Spain, there are a lot of private clinics also. So I think it's easier to do it through the private clinics than not the public hospital. Because the public hospital, you need to go through the government, and it's a very long period. You need to at least 1 year from the time you show your product to the government. It takes like 1 year until they give you an answer. Because they first, they look for other options before. So instead, private clinics, I think is the first step to go.
Okay, so very clear, you're selling it to the hospitals. This test is cheaper than the current one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions over here?
I think it makes a lot of sense to focus on your region first. I have a question, because you have to go clinic by clinic, even if you go private clinics. Isn't 40% penetration rate in year one a bit optimistic / aggressive?
So in Spain, well, everyone knows it, but we come from a very a crisis that has been very hard on the country, and so we think that a solution that reduces so much the costs of a test, it's very necessary and would be very attractive to these clinics.
And are you going to do those sales yourself through a sales force, or are you going to work with a distributor?
No, ourselves, and with the help of the current associations that are linked to these clinics and hospitals.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and there was one more question over here.
Yeah, linked to that is, have you talked to hospitals as well? You talk to patients, but there's one other factor that's important for hospitals, and that's not just your project, but that's for many of the projects.
Yeah.
How will they organize the use of your device? Will it be on a desk somewhere? But everybody actually seems to imagine that there's going to be a medical specialist there, a rheumatologist, with the diagnostic device on the desk. Patient comes in, takes a blood sample, does the assay, patient goes out.
Yeah.
Hospitals may not agree to that. So you may have to talk to them and see whether they actually want that, because most of them have dedicated departments that do these diagnostic tests. And that would cut away a lot of more time than the 10 to 20 minutes that it usually takes to do the test. Have you talked to hospitals about this?
No, we've talked to doctors who work in hospitals.
Yeah, but they don't decide in the end.
Yeah, true. But I know that we have received a positive feedback from doctors. I cannot tell you about, hospital direction, but...
But do they have anything else on the desk that is similar?
No.
So for them it would be a first time move into a new way of dealing with diagnostics.
Currently, they take the sample and send it to lab. So it takes...
That's what I mean. That's the easy way.
Yeah, it's the easy way, but for the treatment effectiveness, or maybe if we are talking in private clinics, they usually sell a plus from the public system, you know, and having your test in 20 minutes, so making the patient not come twice for the results, it's a plus from the public hospital, the current system.
Sure. Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes.
Maybe one other question. Is there no maintenance on your equipment, so you can eliminate all the lab analysis? But of course, they also keep maintenance of the equipment. To use a centrifuge, you say. Ultimately, that will break down, and the doctor is not going to repair it.
So maybe, like, this is the maybe it could also, the home device that includes the microchip, which separates the plasma, could be a good idea to incorporate it in the hospital device. Could be.
Just a quick question for me. I think the at-home testing you strive to do in year 2 is really the solution to the problem. But first, in your business plan, you have to sell it to hospitals and do point of care on the doctor's desk. Don't you think 20 minutes is a long time then?
I mean, if the results are effective and precise, I think it's viable.
How many time do you think rheumatologists have?
No, but maybe I think that the idea is not that the doctor is waiting to get the result back. It can be a nurse, and if the patient is outside waiting, she can deliver, or he can deliver the result to the patient.
Okay, thank you.